Hey guys, this is P.M.R.Bonez88, and today for my next superhero movie review that I'll be talking about today is Batman Forever, which stars Val Kilmer, Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey, Nicole Kidman, and Chris O'Donnell. So this new director, of course, Joel Schumacher, makes the third Batman installment movie, and since Tim Burton decided, not to make any more Batman movies, so Joel Schumacher took over the Batman franchises. So this third film, Batman Forever, it's okay. I mean it's like okay, but after all the silliness, it starts to turn silly. It starts to get a little comical, like much more comedy than an action adventure movie. The characters that I would like to talk about is starting off like Val Kilmer, who plays as Bruce Wayne and Batman. So he was the new Bruce Wayne and Batman. Of course, however, he does really too good of playing as Batman. But when he's Bruce Wayne, he's all good. He's okay. He could be normal. But when it comes to Batman, it's like this. He doesn't play a good Batman movie. A good Batman. Because with Batman, he's more serious. He's more darker. After that, during that one scene where Nicole Kidman plays as Dr. Chase Meridian, the psychologist. Up to that scene, she woos on Batman, and there were some lines that were too cheesy for Batman, for him to playing as Batman. But the only thing I really liked about was the fighting choreography, which that wasn't that bad. I like that. I like those scenes, where he fights. But when he talks as Batman, it doesn't really flow with him. It doesn't flow with him as Batman. And along with also the suits, of course. With the suit of it, the Batman suit, it's almost they brought it back to during the first film of 1989, where he had that rubber suit, this whole body suit, all muscles and muscular, but they added more details to it, and the belt, however, is different, but the symbol stays the same. But however, they added with some nipples. What's with the nipples? What's with all the the bat nipples and all that? But I think according to Joel Schumacher, what he said was that he was going that he wanted to base it off during back in Greek, the Romans, where these Trojan armors, which of course they had nipples, so that's why. So with the nipples, but it was kind of disturbing to me. To me, it was disturbing. I know to everyone who has Batman Forever believes that they should at least take away the nipples. And along with the Batmobile, which I like the vehicle, but however, with the blue lights and this fin, up to one scene, it closes, but the Batmobile, and somehow they split into two. They only show it just for one scene, just for a little while, just for a quick second, and then up to the next scene they're back closed. So okay, so that didn't really make no sense at all, but it's whatever. The villains that I want to talk about, which are Two-Face and Riddler, which they're also played by as Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. So the first one I want to talk about is Jim Carrey, who plays as the Riddler. When he plays Edward Nygma and the Riddler, I would expect him to play much more serious and much more of a comical kind of guy, because when he's the Riddler, he's supposed to be much more of a a problem-solving and a sinister Riddler villainish. And along with that suit he was wearing much more of a yoga suit, because in the beginning he had the hat on and the jacket with it as well. But throughout most of this whole movie, he just wears this weird-looking yoga suit. I call it as the yoga suit because that's what it looks like. He just got back from the yoga class and he realized he was wearing some sort of a tight pajama yoga suit with the question marks all over it. When it comes to Batman, and when he comes to supposed to play as a Riddler, he's supposed to be much more evil and sinister and villainish, not all comedy. Because once he plays as the Riddler, and once he does all these comedy gimmicks and gags, that's a total downfall. Like that's like a downfall for this third film. Another thing, like almost up to that final battle between Batman and the Riddler. The Riddler, he had another yoga suit, which it was like 10 times worse than the green one. He was wearing a blue sparkling yoga suit that he was wearing, along with the green question marks, and they did something to his hairdo. Like, this hairdo is almost a little similar. It looks like the same hairdo, almost the same hairdo that he used in Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, where where the village person just like redo his hair, like make him as the white devil or something like that. I mean, he plays as an okay character, so that's why I should say an okay character to play as the Riddler. So anyways, now for the next villain, which is of course Two-Face. I mean, in the beginning, like only for a quick second, just like Two-Face was like the main villain. Like he was supposed to be the main villain that Batman was supposed to face, but instead, however, like almost throughout the 20 minutes, he was like the main villain throughout the whole film. But up to like the middle where they introduced the Riddler, then they were concentrating much more on the Riddler than on Two-Face instead. So Two-Face was just only a side villain, like a sidekick for Riddler. So they loved the Riddler much more of Two-Face. When Tommy Lee Jones plays as Two-Face, I mean, at first in the beginning he gets a little dark and sinister, but throughout the whole film he goes all crazy and nuts and insane, same as the Riddler. So this is like they're almost like Jokers. That's what they are supposed to be, because the Joker was the only homicidal maniac, basically. And now Batman's sidekick Robin, which plays by Chris O'Donnell, he plays Dick Grayson, and he has a little side story, like a little short story about him. He was with his Grayson family, which they were joining a circus, which they were known as the Flying Graysons. 2 minutes for a while, like here's the story, here's Dick Grayson, and next thing you know, his family gets killed by Two-Face. So that was like a little short story, but that was like a little short story of Dick Grayson and how he becomes Robin. So this is like a little less story, side story. So every story is like little 5 stories that that Joel Schumacher wants to concentrate, but it's like all in a mix, and sometimes it's really hard to concentrate on which character is supposed to be the main character and who's the main villain and who's like supposed to be the side character. That's like kind of little sidetrack that I cannot handle, because that's like bringing too many characters. They rather stick to like one villain, like what they did to Batman. Since his Batcave was destroyed by the Riddler, there was one suit that it was like much more armory, like an armor bat suit, which I liked, and thank God they don't have the nipples, so that felt much better. So, but what kind of bothered me and was really also disturbing, they showed the details of it, but a little way too far, because like, do they have to show his ass, like really showing the Bat's ass? I'd rather prefer to show either the Batman's eyes, like his black eyes, or the helmet, or the cape. So after talking about this film, this third film, Batman Forever, is okay. It's an okay movie, but however, it has some silliness scenes and some cheesy and corny lines. I must add as well. So it's not the best Batman movie of all, but to rate this film, I have to give this like a 74 out of 100. I mean, it's an okay movie, but with all the silliness and all the bad lines, of course, and they couldn't make it better, and along with all these disturbing and too much comedy and familiar lines that we heard, it's just okay, just for a childhood memory. But I do own this movie on Blu-ray only. And also, I would like to add another thing that I saw today just recently, the theatrical trailer of Iron Man 3. I saw it. It looks so awesome and so like epic. It's only a trailer, but once I see it in theaters, I hope it's like that. I hope it's like, much more action and not too, silly and goofy like they did in the last one. But which I'll be talking about though the first two Iron Man movies soon, so I'll be talking about those soon. So after done talking about with all the talking about the superhero movies, I'm gonna go back to the horror slasher movies again. And my next horror slasher movie that I'll be talking about is Hellraiser. Sorry, March 15th. And then by March 17th, I'll be talking about is Leprechaun. So the next time, whenever I do another superhero movie, which will be back on, I'll be back on talking about on April 5th is Spider-Man 2. And this is P.M.R.Bonez88 signing off and saying is,
peace.